Emily stood frozen between her parents, as if her ankles had been nailed to the floor. Her mother's composure felt unnatural, like porcelain that refused to crack, while her father radiated the opposite. Jittering hands, shallow breaths, eyes darting like a hunted animal's. The silence was suffocating. Emily felt the urge to speak, to break the tension, but she couldn't. Instead, she watched the USB slide into the TV port, feeling the moment elongate, like time itself was holding its breath. When the pictures first appeared, family trips, birthdays, smiling faces, Emily relaxed for a fraction of a second. Then the image cut sharply. Her father laughing intimately with a woman Emily didn't recognize. Another photo, a hotel balcony at night. Another, arms wrapped around each other like lovers do. Emily's mind felt like it was trying to scramble up a collapsing wall. Her own voice echoing internally. I never believed quiet people could break so loudly. And the sound wasn't audible, yet it felt deafening. Emily's father began to unravel, words spilling from him in fragments, excuses, stutters, denial, while Jenna remained almost eerily steady. Not angry. Not broken. Just done. Then Jenna spoke. I've known for months. And I chose today, because today I finally choose myself. The words snapped something inside the room. Emily felt torn, her instinct to reach for her mother clashing with her impulse to confront her father. Caleb stared wide-eyed. And in that moment, Emily realized the room wasn't just tense, it was changing shape. The family they once were was dissolving in real time. Over the past decade, Emily grew up in a home that looked normal from the outside. Her dad wasn't unkind, just distant. He existed in the house like a shadow passing between obligations. Late nights at work became routine. He'd kiss them goodbye in the morning and return after they were asleep. Meanwhile, her mom filled every gap: school lunches, bedtime stories, birthday planning. Emily always believed her mother's love overflowed, while her father's arrived measured, rationed, almost reluctant. She remembers their social world. Dad, respected and admired in the community. Successful businessman, reliable neighbor, the guy people trusted. Mom, once a nurse, had set aside her career to raise her children. Emily and Caleb had always viewed Mark as the provider, the man who brought stability, money, security. But now, looking back through the lens of what she'd seen on the TV screen, Emily realized something piercing. Providing isn't the same as caring, and presence isn't the same as love. Retrospective red flags now screamed in clarity. Her father's sudden preoccupation with cologne brands, careful hairstyling, new shirts. The quick swipe of his phone screen the moment anyone passed by. The times Emily found her mom quietly crying at the kitchen counter while washing dishes at midnight. How the warmth in the house dimmed year by year. And the memory that carved itself deepest, overhearing her mother whisper, I just want to feel chosen again. Back then, Emily didn't grasp the ache beneath those words. Now, she understood all too painfully. When the living room finally emptied of accusations and stunned silence, Jenna gently guided Emily into her bedroom and closed the door. Her mother's expression softened, not triumphant, not bitter, but achingly tired. She explained that she hadn't exposed Mark to wound him, but to free herself. She had lived months with quiet awareness, collecting information like a patient detective. She consulted lawyers in secret, moved funds carefully, and planned every step with meticulous calm. This wasn't vengeance, it was liberation. Then Emily heard what felt like the true explosion beneath the surface. Jenna wasn't just legally separating. She was pressing charges for financial misconduct. Mark had been siphoning joint funds for hotel bookings, expensive meals, gifts, and weekend retreats with the other woman. Emily felt something ignite in her chest. They had skipped family trips because money was tight. She remembered seeing her mom quietly shelving personal wants to support necessary expenses. Now Emily understood. Her mother had been betrayed both emotionally and economically. The revelation cracked the future open like shattered glass. Emily could suddenly see the path ahead. Courtroom testimonies, frozen bank accounts, whispered gossip among neighbors, headlines in local communities, lawyer meetings, custody battles, reputation implosions. The image of her father, once admired, trusted, was now tarnished beyond repair. Emily felt the weight of the turning point. There was life before today and life after. And nothing, not their family dinners, not their last name, not even Emily's childhood memories, would survive unchanged. In the days that followed, Mark tried to reclaim influence over Emily. He approached her with soft tones and practiced vulnerability, insisting she hear his side. He spoke of emotional dissatisfaction, of feeling neglected, of needing validation her mother supposedly failed to give. He told Emily that one day she would understand adult relationships. But instead of empathizing, Emily felt only revulsion. Her father wasn't taking responsibility, he was rewriting the story to cast himself as the wounded hero rather than the betrayer. Meanwhile, Jenna began transforming, not suddenly, but steadily. She reactivated her nursing license, returned to work, and rediscovered her independence. She began driving again, shopping for herself, smiling more genuinely. She made new friends and reconnected with old ones. There was a glow in her presence, dignity replacing despair, strength replacing silence. Emily admired her, but also felt torn. She loved her father for being her dad, yet she hated him for shattering the family's trust. The weight of the scandal seeped into Emily's school life. Whispers curled through hallways. Some students said her mother was dramatic. Others condemned her father. But nothing compared to the day Emily discovered the final, vicious twist. The other woman wasn't some distant stranger, it was Jenna's former best friend. A woman who had shared their dinners, sat on their sofa, laughed with their children, and called Jenna sis. That betrayal wasn't just sexual, it was intimate treason. And Emily realized the wound ran far deeper than infidelity. It was betrayal woven into the fabric of their family history. The courtroom air felt dense, saturated with tension and scrutiny. Mark sat with his attorney, posture carefully curated, downcast eyes, wounded expression, the image of a misunderstood husband. He testified that Jenna was unreasonable and vindictive, that Emily had been turned against him. He spoke like a man wrongfully accused, spinning narratives of loneliness and marital neglect. But the room's skepticism deepened as Jenna rose, calm and composed, and began laying out evidence with surgical precision. Jenna presented months of documented proof. Financial transfers into personal accounts, hotel receipts disguised as business expenses, affectionate messages, photographs, time-stamped logs of secret meetups. Each artifact landed like a hammer stroke. The judge's face hardened. The gallery whispered. And then came the moment that shifted the trial beyond legal argument and into emotional reckoning. Emily was called to the stand. Her heart pounded like a pulse in her throat, but her voice was steady when she began to speak. Emily looked directly at her father, a man she had once idolized, and delivered the words that stripped every excuse bare. You didn't just cheat on Mom. You cheated on this family. And you cheated on the father you were supposed to be. Silence swallowed the room. Mark's practiced mask finally fractured. His eyes filled, his shoulders collapsed. In that moment, the truth stood undeniable. The ruling followed swiftly. Jenna awarded full custody, financial penalties levied, Mark's public reputation irrevocably destroyed. The man who once commanded respect now sat small, exposed, and broken, undone by the consequences of his own choices. The new house wasn't large, but it felt different, lighter. No tension sat in the corners. No silent storms lingered behind closed doors. Emily noticed the absence of dread most of all. There were no late-night arguments, no forced smiles at breakfast, no pretending everything was fine. Instead, there was calm. Mom hummed while cooking again. Caleb laughed louder. Emily began sleeping deeply for the first time in years. The house may have been smaller, but their lives finally felt bigger. Emily began journaling, at first angry scribbles, then aching questions, and eventually reflections that sounded like wisdom. She wrote about trust, about love, about resilience. Every entry peeled back another layer of pain and rewove it into understanding. Her mother encouraged it, sometimes sitting beside her with a cup of tea. Caleb grew more open too, no longer afraid of emotional uncertainty. Their small family of 3 became a circle of honesty instead of tension, and Mark faded into a quieter existence. Visitation continued under structure, but gone was the confidence of a man admired without question. He arrived subdued, almost hesitant. Emily could sense his awareness, the understanding that his choices had cost him more than marriage, they cost him presents. He had lost being the unquestioned hero in his kids' eyes. Watching him, Emily didn't feel triumph or revenge, but clarity. Healing didn't mean erasing him, it meant no longer being controlled by the damage he caused. A year later, Emily sat at her small desk, the evening light filtering through her curtains. The college application question stared up at her. What event changed your perspective on family? She began typing slowly, thoughtfully. She wrote that her mother didn't just uncover an infidelity, she revealed a fundamental truth, that family is not defined by who shares your DNA, but by who protects your dignity. Her words were honest, steady, and forged from lived experience rather than theory. When she finished typing, Emily paused and reread the final line of her essay. It didn't feel like a statement, it felt like closure. She shut her laptop quietly and sat still for a moment. Then, from downstairs, she heard the sound of something that had once been rare in their home, her mother laughing freely, without restraint or heaviness. Caleb's voice chimed in, teasing and playful. It wasn't just noise, it was life. Emily stood, smiling to herself, and whispered a final truth, not to the essay, but to her own past. The surprise my mom gave didn't break our family. It saved it. And in that realization, Emily felt something anchor within her, a sense of belonging built on truth rather than illusion. The pain had reshaped them, but not ruined them. As the night settled around the house, the Carter family, now smaller, but stronger, lived not in the shadow of betrayal, but in the warmth of hard-earned peace.